EU locks out Belarus from international aviation.
Here's a summary of the article.
EU leaders have agreed a first wave of economic sanctions against Belarus over Sunday's hijacking and said there were more to come. The EU calls on all EU-based carriers to avoid overflight of Belarus, and will ban overflight of EU airspace by Belarusian airlines and prevent access to EU airports of flights operated by such airlines, leaders said in a joint statement after meeting in Brussels on Monday. The airspace ban will see Belarus lose income from overflight fees, especially on routes to Asia. EU leaders the same day also discussed Russia relations. Some hawkish EU capitals, such as Lithuania, called for extra sanctions on Russia also. Speculation was rife among EU diplomats on whether Russia had had a hand in the Belarus fiasco. Russia might have wanted Lukashenko to lose all face in the West, to make him more dependent on Moscow, another EU source said.
This post received a score of 61,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
This is very serious response from the EU and should severely cripple Belarus. Their airline is effectively dead and will no longer generate income for their state. This is much more severe than the usual sanction we see coming from the EU. I think it's a good signal showing you can't simply divert planes with fake bomb threats and military coercion.
It was pretty dumb move on Belarus end. Somebody needs to go back to dictator school.
Belarus did this with Russia's backing. Russia knows Ukraine is more Western-leaning and the only way to get it under control is by force. With Belarus, Lukashenko is so dumb that he can't see that Russia is intentionally helping him damage the country to the point that their best option will be to become part of Russia. Lukashenko said just last year that Putin is pressuring him to do this.
Greater than Russia is intentionally helping him damage the country to the point that their best option will be to become part of Russia. I think there are grains of truth here for sure. Russia has been hinting about a federation with Belarus for some time, and would try to pressure Central Asian countries into it as well.
The Central Asian countries aren't going to join by choice. Kazakhstan is desperately trying to revitalize their culture and they only just became an ethnic majority in their own country. The Caucasus are much the same.
Man, I hope so. Kazakhstan has like 40+% of all uranium. I'd hate for Russia to get even more leverage than they already have with gas and oil.
There are actually huge deposits to be mined in Canada, Australia, and Africa, but with the uranium spot price being so low, a lot of mines are either shut down or no longer being constructed until the price comes back up.
You think uranium prices will rise again in the near midterm? That will definitely be a good sign of things to come.
Maybe they just want to make a lot of RTGs for Mars rovers? And military satellites.
Belarus becomes even more isolated from Europe and really has no path to anything remotely resembling a democracy as long as Lukashenko is in power and the country is deeply integrated with Russia. I feel bad for everyday people there.
I'm from the US but visited Belarus twice as a teenager and made some lasting friends there. 3 were able to visit me here and others I've kept up with through social media. It's really sad to see all this happening through my friends' eyes, knowing they don't support the shit going on but are still swept up in it. Anyway, I appreciate the empathy in your comment. I feel like a lot of people see countries as reflections of their governments and forget there are everyday people there too.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.